We chose to do our project on perspective pertaining to geometry in the Earth and the universe.
So, to start off, we're going to talk about Filippo Brunelleschi, who was an Italian architect who developed a mathematical system for artists of the Renaissance. And the purpose of this was to aid in accurately depicting a three-dimensional space on a two-dimensional plane. And he did this by setting up a mirror in front of a building and drawing all the contour lines from the reflection of that building. And he noticed from those lines that they all met at a single point, which he determined and called the vanishing point. Um, so yeah, so next we're going to talk about this equation that we talked about in class, which is the relationship between the distance from your eyes and the coordinates on a plane. So the equation is d times x divided by z plus d, x and z being the coordinates on a grid, and then d being the distance from your eyes at 0, 0, negative d. And so yeah, perspective is intrinsically linked to geometry as it can be seen naturally with our eyes. Translating it to paper is where geometry truly shines because one must apply mathematical principles to depict depth using the perspective theorem, which is the equation we just talked about, or I just talked about. And perspective and algebra are linked by many different things, but one of the most famous connections is Desargues' theorem, which states that two triangles are perspective from a point if their vertices can be put into a one-to-one correspondence in such a way that the center of perspectivity is collinear with each pair of corresponding vertices.
Okay, so this is a famous painting called The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci, and this shows the progression of linear perspective drawing that he applied to his piece. And a lot of people don't know that this had a lot more to do with the drawing, given this information, as all of the vanishing points lead directly to Jesus, which was very metaphorical for religion at the time.
Does it still matter?
Yeah, it does. Even though this came out, like this idea emerged around 1415 in the Renaissance, it's still applied today within just about every piece an artist makes. Most of the time with a scene, one point perspective is used, and now even 2 point and multi-point perspectives have been applied. Also, Brunelleschi, who was the engineer of the Renaissance, first developed his theories of linear perspective drawing, and then he learned to paint in order to apply these geometrical findings. And we have credits.
Thank you.